first, we turn to the topic of wind power. It is the country's fastest growing energy source, expected to triple by the year 2040. But the giant wind turbines can also pose a threat to wildlife. Thousands of birds are killed each year when they fly into turbines or are hit by their blades. Now, scientists at one of the nation's oldest wind farms have developed a strategy to help save protected species. Our colleagues at public TV station KQED in San Francisco bring you this story, produced by Gabriela Quiros and narrated by Scott Schaefer.
The Altamont Pass east of San Francisco is home to hundreds of bird species. They hunt and play in the midst of 3,000 wind turbines, which can be deadly, especially to golden eagles.
There's an eagle right there.
Eagle. One right here, flying low.
Below the horizon, right in front of
Biologists Doug Bell, Sean Smallwood, and Joe DiDonato study golden eagles.
And we got some good wind going today, so this might be a good day for seeing a few eagles. The Altamont Pass Wind Resource Area is within and adjacent to one of the densest nesting populations of golden eagles in the world.
Golden eagles are protected under federal law. According to county estimates, 35 golden eagles were killed by the Altamont's turbines in 2013.
Their population's going down the drain. The Altamont is killing more eagles than the local population can reproduce.
The primary injury on this bird is the left wing. The carpal bone is shattered.
Today, Krista Rogers of the California Department of Fish and Wildlife examines a golden eagle that was found injured on an Altamont Pass wind farm. The bird had to be euthanized.
We describe this as blunt force trauma, which is consistent with a wind turbine strike, given the location where the bird was found.
The transmitter is going to stay on here about 3 years.
The dead golden eagle was one of 18 that researchers had been tracking.
Go.
Though 4 of them have died after hitting turbines, scientists were still able to recover valuable data.
One of the more valuable things that we've learned from our transmitters that we've placed on eagles is that they use the Altamont a lot. They go in and out throughout the course of the year. We'll spend weeks at a time there.
For more than a decade, environmental groups have been trying to get wind companies to protect birds in this area, says the Audubon Society's Michael Lyons.
The Altamont was sort of seen as a black eye for renewable energy because anytime someone was proposing a new wind farm, they would raise the specter of the Altamont Pass.
After chapters of the Audubon Society and other environmental groups sued to get birds protected, wind companies agreed to take down old wind turbines.
We wanted to move towards getting the old turbines out of the Altamont Pass because in a process called repowering, up to 30 old turbines can be replaced with one single new turbine, which then results usually in significantly less bird mortality.
At this wind farm, 300 turbines are coming down and being replaced by only 10 new ones, which together will produce double the amount of electricity, enough to power 12,000 homes for a year.
It's time to pull the old machines down and put new ones up.
Rick Miller of EDF Renewable Energy, which owns the wind farm, says the repowering process will cost $35 million and is facilitated by federal tax credits for wind energy.
The turbines are becoming much larger rotor diameters and much taller towers. So we've really been able to reduce the number of turbines required to produce a tremendous amount of energy from the same site.
And that means there are fewer turbines for birds to hit. Companies can also place the turbines more strategically.
300 meters above ground.
Ecologist Sean Smallwood advises companies on where to put their turbines to minimize bird deaths.
This is where the old turbines were. And this is also where the burrowing owls nest. And so fatality rate was pretty high.
This wind farm was one of the first to get new, more efficient turbines.
When we repowered, we put the new turbines up on the top of the hill, where the burrowing owls are not. So our burn-off fatality rate dropped to 0 in 3 years of monitoring, that's why.
Smallwood says that when wind energy companies first installed over 7,000 turbines in the Altamont Pass in the 1980s, they gave little consideration to bird safety.
Those are the most dangerous turbines in the Altamont Pass on record. There's one 120 kilowatt turbine down there, now removed, but it's on record as having killed 1 eagle per year for 10 years. And the reason is because there's a lot of eagle traffic through the low spots of the Altamont Pass.
Birds fly lower in some areas to avoid wind resistance and to hunt for prey. But with their keen eyesight focused on the ground, eagles might not see a wind turbine blade until it's too late.
Social interactions are very important. So an eagle responding to other eagles, chasing each other around, or chasing some other birds. These are dangerous social interactions that lead up to what we call events, near misses.
The federal government is increasing enforcement of laws aimed at protecting golden eagles, including bringing criminal charges against 2 companies whose turbines killed golden eagles in Wyoming. Scott Flaherty of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service says that was a significant step.
The prosecution of those 2 companies certainly sent a message to companies across the country. There is incentive there to come in and work with us.
That incentive is a new permitting system that allows companies to kill a limited number of eagles each year. Even the Audubon Society's Michael Lines sees permits as a positive step.
Before it was sort of chaos. There was no real regulation, there was no real enforcement, and we know birds were getting killed in large numbers. Now we can actually keep track of that, we can hold people accountable, and we can take steps to remedy the problem.
As the U.S. increases its wind power capability, scientists, including Sean Smallwood, believe fewer turbines and better placement are key to protecting wildlife.
We've learned a lot here, so it should be the #1 laboratory in the country for learning what not to do wrong with wind development around the rest of the country.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Scott Shaper.